All right, tenanted properties, these will absolutely kill your sale in this market, guys. Do not list tenanted properties. Maybe when the market's hot, you can get away with it. But where we are now in a high end of buyer's market, kind of low end of balanced, this is going to kill your sale. And I keep seeing this over and over again. So real life example, I had a client, qualified buyer, wanted to view a 2-bedroom condo downtown. The realtor told me he only had one available time slot because it's tenanted. They have to work around the tenant's schedule. It was a Wednesday at 3 p.m. Of course, my client works for a living. That wasn't going to work for her. The next available time slot wasn't for a full week later. That wasn't going to work either. So I brought up the sales history of this particular unit, and it had been on market just over 2.5 years, almost 3 years this has been on market. It was listed, terminated, relisted, multiple price reductions, significant price reductions. It was priced way too high to begin with. The seller was dreaming in Technicolor, rainbows and unicorns, which I see a lot in this market. And of course, the listing agent knew it. That's why they didn't go out of pocket and put any marketing muscle into this whatsoever. There was no video tour, no Matterport. And I see this a lot of times. The realtor will just take a few photos on their cell phone. So it was overpriced. I would never have taken on the listing at that price. But of course, the strategy here is let's take the listing once you've secured it, grind them down on the price as it racks up days on markets. Just keep grinding it until eventually it sells and the realtor is going to get their commission. But I think that's doing a disservice to your client. I think you need to be upfront. This is my CMA. This is what I think it's worth in today's market. I wouldn't have taken on this listing. But at the end of the day, my client never had a chance to view the property. It eventually got an accepted offer. I don't know the sold price yet, but I almost can guarantee you that it was a low price because you're limiting the exposure here. You can't show the damn thing. And even if you do, it's tenanted. It never shows that well, guys. So here's an alternative. Provide notice to your tenants. Give them the time to pack up and leave. Get the unit professionally cleaned, staged, video tours, Matterport, social media push. Because if I'm going to take this on, I'm going to have to believe in the product I'm selling and that it's priced right. And I'm going to put some marketing muscle into this. I'm going to go out of pocket and I'm going to get, I've got a guy, Mike, here who's fantastic. He does this service. Call me if you want somebody, realtors that are watching this right now. If you're looking for somebody to do your videos, your Matterports, floor plans, everything he does is one package. But I'm going to put some muscle into it and I'm going to push this out on social media. The last condo I did this just over here, Concord Pacific, very nice building, 1-bedroom unit in Olympic Village. We had an accepted offer within 1 week. Showings were extremely flexible because it's vacant. I live right across the street. I could show it at any time. I'm a full-time realtor. A lot of these realtors, I can't speak for this one, but a lot of them are not working full-time, guys. Ask your realtor. Many of them hold down full 9-to-5 jobs, and they just do this as a side hustle. So imagine now trying to coordinate viewings around the tenant schedule and your realtor's schedule. That's going to make it very challenging. You're really limiting your exposure there. So, but I understand from an owner's perspective, you don't want to forgo the $3,000, $4,000 a month in rental income. I understand that. But you might be out of pocket $10K on rental income, but you're going to get $30,000 or $40,000 more on the eventual sale price. And you're going to sit, if it's tenanted, you're going to sit on market for months and months, maybe even years like this particular unit. Your realtor is going to grind you down on the price. Eventually, it's going to sell for less than if you just done it properly in the first place. Had the unit vacant, staged it, did it the right way. Now, with first-time buyers, I love tenanted properties. They're fantastic because, again, they're harder to get into, much less competition. They don't show very well, but usually it's cosmetic. Usually it's paint, baseboards, lighting fixtures, a few things like that. And I've negotiated some really good deals for these first-time buyers. If you're trying to crack into the market here, it's a tough nut to crack to get into Vancouver. Very challenging. Most of you guys are just barely going to be able to qualify. If you want to get into a unit as a first-time buyer, I would almost steer you into exclusively looking at these tenanted properties because you can negotiate some discounts here. There's a lot less competition. They don't show as well. So, but again, if you're selling, you're crazy, especially to do it in this market. There are a ton of these tenanted properties, and I don't think realtors are advising their clients properly about this. Maybe the seller just doesn't want to listen to their realtor's expertise here. I don't know what the situation is, but there's a lot of these tenanted properties, and they're sitting and they're racking up days on market. But if you get it vacant and you do it the right way, you should be able to get a timely sale. I'm Jay Cooper. Feel free to comment below or subscribe. See you in the next video.